Years I spent in vanity and pride.
On this Compassion Sunday, the theme that dominated several Anglican church services was the need to reflect on God's mercy from Matthew 18:21 to 35 and Titus 3:1 to 7.
Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you.
At All Saints Cathedral, Kampala, the Assistant Bishop of the Diocese of Kampala, Right Reverend Frederick Balwa, was the preacher of the day. He encouraged Christians to be as enduring as God because he extends the same mercy to us.
God expects us to be merciful even in an unmerciful world. God expects us, the Christians, the believers, to be merciful even when the world is not merciful.
During the service at St. Stephen's Kisugu Church of Uganda, Reverend Samuel Kanyike emphasized the relevance of forgiveness to man as a way of reflecting God's mercy.
Are there those that you think they have been provoking you every now and then? He says this morning, you must still extend forgiveness to each one of them. In verses 23, almost to 30, we see this unforgiving or unmerciful master. And Jesus uses it just to put an emphasis that still the mercies of the living God are to be extended to all.
Meanwhile, Reverend Captain Jasper Oluge, who was the preacher at Kakumba Chapel, Chambogo University, also preached the message of forgiveness and compassion, just as God does.
So God's mercy is seen first of all in his salvation of our lives. God has chosen to forgive us, and we are supposed to forgive each other. In Ephesians chapter 4 verse 32, Paul says, like you have been forgiven, you should therefore forgive each other. Just like, be kind and compassionate to one another.
St. Stephen Chitara Church of Uganda had John Baptist Tumwine as their preacher of the day. He shared the message of compassion, urging believers to obey the Lord's calling for their lives.
We are called upon to be generous and compassionate. We are called upon to be generous and compassionate. Because you cannot reflect God's mercy as our theme if you are not compassionate to the people that you are living with. Because you cannot love your neighbor when he is suffering. You cannot love your neighbor when he has nothing to eat. When you cannot love your neighbor when he has nothing to put on, and you just keep quiet. The love you show him, the love you show to the neighbor should be practical.
At St. Paul's Cathedral Namirembe, the preacher of the day, Mrs. Rita Kakande, advocated for believers to have faith because it is a foundation of righteousness.
And when you ask yourself a question, where is your faith? Because true righteousness, if you're to really be right or walk in righteousness or have that foundation, whether in your home as a father, whether in your work, wherever you're working, whether in this church, given the purpose that God has created you for, if you don't have the foundation, the true foundation of Christ himself, who is the one who makes us right, then all that may be in vain.
And lastly, St. Francis Chapel Makere had Reverend Barnett Ariho as the preacher for the day. Based on the topic, God's wisdom and mercy through his Spirit, he implored Christians to fast and indulge in prayer.
As you fast, you should know that fasting is a sort of prayer. But again, you need to continue to even to have mercy, knowing that mercy is the lifeblood of fasting. As you fast, you need to show mercy to people, and people will automatically understand that there is really something that is going on in your life. And so in this Lenten season, I want us to seek God's wisdom. I want us to really continue to know him even much more, understand his wisdom, so that we don't find ourselves get our reward even before the 40 days of fasting, yet the reward may not be that good.